Buenos dias, amigos, amigas from the lakeside area. Today, once again, I'm going to talk about, for those who don't know and haven't seen some previous videos, I'm going to talk about the why and how I came to Mexico and why I stay, and give you a backstory as well about my life. But first, I want to say the reason I stay in Mexico, the people are the greatest. They're very warm, they're very inviting, they're very accepting, and they're very friendly. And they're the kind of people that really help you out. They like helping foreigners here, and all the parts of Mexico I've been to, that's been my experience. But I want to give you a little bit of backstory about my retirement and when I decided to come to Mexico and how I made that decision. Now, one is I retired at 57 years old with a pension, took my pension. And I was up in Michigan for a couple of years. I was kind of wondering, what am I going to do? I want to get out of this cold weather in Michigan. And one day, I just made that decision. I walked into the house. It was a cold winter. It was in early March. And I says, I'm not putting up with this anymore. I need some change. So my first thoughts were to go to Florida. I got on the phone with family members and friends, and I said, I'm going to Florida. I'm going to be a snowbird, and I'm going to be going to Florida in the winters, and then coming back to my home in Michigan. And I thought about Florida, and then I thought about, I've been in Florida before, and it gets kind of warm over there too, kind of hot at times. So let me look at some other place. So I started doing research. I was looking at costs of living in different parts of the world and different types of climate. Now, I was considering Europe, different parts of Europe and Latin America, as well as Mexico. And I had thought about Valencia, Spain. The climate is good there, and it fits me. And the cost of living was good. So let me think about Valencia, Spain. But then there were other factors that made me think about Mexico, and one is being closer to my home in Michigan in the U.S. and being close to family members and friends. I do have some family members that are older than me, and in case they have a medical emergency, I'll be closer to them and I can get to them quicker. And Mexico just sounded great to me. But I want to tell you, since coming to Mexico, I've had a great time. 5 years coming back and forth. I'm now a resident. I started coming as a snowbird. I'll tell you things that happened. Once again, I didn't get here through YouTube videos. Some people do. But I got to Mexico because I needed a place. Now, YouTube videos are great. Continue to watch YouTube videos. A lot of people tell me they get here through YouTube videos, but there were a lot of determining factors. And I'll tell you first, I want to tell you, it wasn't economically. I didn't have problems with living in the USA. However, my money goes a lot further here. I could still live in the USA and live pretty good, but I do live sometimes a lot better here in Mexico. I'm telling you, the money goes a lot further. So I always try to encourage people to come here and try it out. Just try it out. You just might like it. My backstory is such that I was raised in a family, and I'll tell you a bit about my family, that exposed me to a lot of different cultures, and even a Latin American culture. Now, my father is from Eastern Europe. He grew up in Eastern Europe, and after World War II, he was served in World War II. He got out, he went to Edinburgh, Scotland, did some more studies in engineering there. But then he also was traveling to Barcelona, Spain. He wound up in Buenos Aires. Then he went up to Vancouver for a little while, and then wound up in Windsor, Ontario. And he started a business there. Met my mother. My mother is of Italian descent. She was born in the States, but her family's from Italy. And I got a lot about culture. Now, my father, having traveled different parts of the world, he was an accomplished accordionist as well as being an engineer. He really exposed me to a lot of things. And my brother too, Latin American music, the culture. As a kid, I used to go to the Detroit Institute of Arts, and I visit the Detroit Institute of Arts quite a bit, and a lot of Mexican art there. I always enjoyed it. I was always amazed by it. I was fascinated with it. Diego Rivera, his murals there, his murals are still there. It's a DIA. I love that. I love listening to different pieces of music that my father and brother would play on accordion, and they would play also some Latin pieces. So I gradually started, as a kid, I would always enjoy the Mexican culture and things it had to offer. But then again, I also, I went to, when I went to college, I took one semester introductory Spanish, and I did really, really well at it. Now, this is the kicker here. Although I did very well at it, I had forgot it. And I came to Mexico knowing very little Spanish, like about that much. But I always enjoyed the culture here. And I started picking up. I was in Cuernavaca for a couple weeks, and I just decided I wanted to go to San Miguel de Allende. It would be maybe a smoother part of my landing here in Mexico because of the expat community there. And that is a good place to go. I encourage people to research San Miguel too. But I decided after I took a few classes or sessions in Spanish, but went back up and probably, I think during the time I was in San Miguel, I started seeing Jerry Brown's YouTube videos. So once again, it wasn't YouTube that got me here, but once I was in San Miguel de Allende, I saw some excellent videos by Jerry Brown's Travels, and I've been watching his videos for 5 years at least, or almost 5 years. And he had some really good videos that interested me. Also, there was a documentary that was filmed partly at the Lake Chapala Society, and it also had different parts of the documentary were talking about people giving back to the Mexican communities, and I thought it would be really a good place for me. I'm going to check it out, and I've been here for 4 years now. Whether I'm going to stay here for the rest of my life, maybe not, maybe. Although I love it here, there are other parts of Mexico I can go to and enjoy, and I feel comfortable. Now that my Spanish has improved, it's opened up a lot more doors, and I can go into a lot of other places or parts of Mexico and feel comfortable living. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about this lakeside area. In some parts of Mexico, you're going to find good climates. Depends about the type of climate you want to go to. I prefer this type of climate, but you can eat out. Something I couldn't do in Michigan was I can't eat out 360 days a year, or 365 days a year. You can't eat outside, outdoors every day. Over here you can. You can eat out and indoors if you want. You're going to have a lot of different good food here. You can find American food. You can find intercontinental food. You can find almost any food you want down here. Now, also, you can eat at upscale restaurants. I do that on occasion. You can eat at mid-range priced restaurants. I do that too. And also you can eat at the smaller, really affordable restaurants. If you're at a low income, you can eat at those. I like to eat at all the restaurants, no matter what kind I can go to, and I find the cost of living here quite affordable. Different types of food, and also the food I feel is fresher. I see it seems to be fresher than food I was getting up in the U.S. There's abundance of fruit and vegetables, which I like to eat and go to the markets. I like to eat at restaurants, and I'm kind of guy like 60 to 70 times a month in restaurants. So I do know the restaurants here, that's for sure. Also the music, you're going to find a lot of interesting music. You're going to find anything from a twinge of country to jazz, classical. You'll find blues, jazz, rock. And I did find a lot of good music in San Miguel de Allende like that too, and other parts of Mexico. But over here, you're going to have an abundance of music, places to go, entertainment. There's all kinds of leisure activities you can get involved in, and physical activities. covered that in different videos too. You're just going to find a nice expat community that'll come and welcome you. And once again, I'm not saying this is the end all. There are other places that have expat communities, large expat communities. One is which San Miguel de Allende has a large expat community. I'm not going to get into who has the biggest one. I believe we have the biggest one here. But there are places where you can find expats like say Oaxaca City. I was there for 5 days and I met a lot of expats there. Temperature there is good. The climate there is good. Even in Cuernavaca, there's not a lot of expats like they had many years ago. They used to have more expats there many, many years ago, but now not as many. I do know some of the research or some of the history of Cuernavaca too. But San Miguel is a good place. Of course, the lakeside area, and there's other parts of Mexico you can go to. I enjoy being here. I enjoy being involved with the communities here in Lakeside and wherever I go in Mexico. I made a lot of friends, a lot of wonderful people here. You're going to meet and find, you're going to get lifetime friends. Sociability is here is good. No matter what income level you're going to come from, you're going to find there's a lot of good sociability. I would give it a sociability score of 100 because you're going to meet so many nice people here. It's just great. Mexican residents as well as other expats. There's a lot of leisure activities to do. I made videos about that before. And also physical activities if you want to get physical. To do that too. You can travel to many of the different towns here, which I've done, walk, ride bikes, taxi it, bus it, whatever. I've done videos on those. I'm going to tell you, I really enjoy it. I have a car now. Wow, now I'm a Mexican resident. I own a vehicle. I bought it here in Mexico. I enjoy that. And I enjoy getting out and about. I like getting out. I make a lot of YouTube videos, but I always try to squeeze in time for my friends when I can, and I like doing things here. I recently, probably almost 3 months to this date, I met a woman. She works in Guadalajara, and I spend time with her when I can, and made a good friend there. And I've introduced her to some of my friends. My life is really opened up since being here. And I get involved with different organizations, 2 organizations here I'm a member of, been here, a member of those organizations for 4 years. And I like getting involved with doing different service work to help the Mexican communities and volunteer. And I really enjoy it. That's something I've been doing regularly and consistently for 4 years now. So I really like being around the other expats. I like the sociability, and I like my times alone too. And I like going to the parks. I like just walking around the Mexican communities. I can go on and on and on. It's great retirement here for those who want to try it out. And if this doesn't fit you, there are a lot of other places or some other places in Mexico you might be interested in. I wouldn't limit myself necessarily to one place. Find out the climate, find out different things, do some research, and you can maybe determine where you might want to go. This is not the end all for me. I mean, I don't like the hustle and bustle of the big cities. I grew up in the Detroit area for many years. I was thinking at one point of possibly going to live in Guadalajara City. I like it there, but then again, it's a little fast-paced, but I don't know where I'll wind up. There are so many good places in Mexico to go, so make your decisions and try things out. You can go to one area of Mexico, one region, try it out for 6 months, maybe go to another place, try that out for 6 months, come to one place, stay there for years, and just enjoy yourself. You're really going to like it. And like what I said is, I didn't come here because I couldn't afford the cost of living in the U.S. I came here for other reasons, and I stayed for other reasons, but I do benefit from the cost of living here. And yeah, I can do a lot more with my retirement pension and my Social Security now. And I do love living here. So with that, I'll just say tap on that notification bell and you'll be notified of upcoming videos. Thanks for viewing. Adios, amigos.